Hello and welcome to the Temple of Enlightenment International Spiritual Center. My name is Issachar Bey, and I want to welcome you uh, to our teaching for today. If this is your first time tuning in with us, please let us know what city, what state, what country you're listening from. We are absolutely delighted and grateful of your presence today, and we hope that what we're going to be learning today, what we're going to be discussing today, will be life-changing, will be mind-renewing, and will put you in a new place, in a new dimension, and allow you to become the best version of yourself. We're continuing with our series, 100 Secrets to Mastering the Game of Life. And so we are extremely excited about our series. I've been getting the feedback from you guys about the life team changing teaching, understanding that if you apply these precepts and these concepts, if you apply them to your life, you'll see dramatic changes. You'll see things coming into place. You'll see things coming in perspective. If you can, go ahead and get in a nice, comfortable position, quiet place as we get ready to go into our spiritual mind treatment. As you get in a quiet position, I want you to go ahead and take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Once again, inhale and exhale. Once again, inhale and exhale. I declare and decree that the words you're about to hear are not mere sentences strung together, but they are keys that unlock locked doors within your consciousness, keys that awaken you to the truth that has always been there. You were never sent to earth to merely exist. You were sent here to live, and to live abundantly, to live fearlessly, to live boldly, to live now. I affirm right now, your years will not be wasted. Your life will not be shallow. Your, your destiny will not be postponed. You are alive today, and that aliveness is enough to start a revolution in your soul. Right now, spirit moves through you. Right now, the infinite breathes in you. Right now, eternity is vibrating in your veins. So as we begin to set our intention, I am open, I am ready, I am alive. And so it is, and so it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you, like I said, for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us. If you can, go ahead and hit the like button. It helps us to raise the algorithms, and also subscribe if you haven't done so. We appreciate that greatly. Within our series, The 100 Secrets to Manifesting, the 100 Secrets to Manifesting, uh, to, to, um, to Mastering the Game of Life, I felt it not robbery to uh, continue this, because I think that it's imperative that we master these precepts, these concepts, and that we learn how to take them and to utilize them into our lives. I think that it's life changing. I think that it's Definitely something that everybody needs to take a look at. If this is your first time, just go back and listen to the beginning of the series. We have some great jewels, nuggets that have been dropped that I think will be blessings to everybody who's listening. Today, I want to talk from this subject. Listen to this. And in the end, it's not the years in your life that count, but it's the life in your years. Once again, listen to this. This is what I want to talk about today. And in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. I want to talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. I think that that's extremely important. And I think that there's no greater time to delve into this than to right now at this moment. Just before we get started, I want to make a couple of statements here. I want to say a couple of things. Number one, today is a very, very important day. It's a solar eclipse, and it's a very, very important thing with all of the stuff going on in our nation and our country, and I just think that it's extremely important that we are aware of what's happening in the heavens, that we are aware of what's happening as we begin to decode the language of the heavens. And we understand that eclipses come to open things and to close things. There's a beginning and then there's also an ending. But even these eclipses that affect us on the global level, they also affect us individually. If anybody would like to schedule an eclipse reading, you can go ahead and click the link today, and we can go ahead and take a look at what's going on with the eclipse and how it is affecting you. The eclipse is happening today at 29 degrees of Virgo, which is a critical degree. It's a lot. It's a lot going on, and we're going to see a lot of things transpiring after today. But I just want to put it out there because we know that we understand the science of decoding the language of the heavens, and what does these eclipses mean, and how does it affect my life, and how does it affect my family and my children, how does it affect my job and my business. These are some of the things that you guys may be having questions about, and we can definitely get together and take a look and see what's going on. I also want to thank all of you for your donations. I also want to thank all of you for your seeds that you've sown and your blessed ministry and so forth. And if that's you and you're saying, Issachar, how can we help? How can we be a blessing to your organization, to your ministry? How can we help you out? We want to support. We love the work that you're doing. We love the teachings. We don't just want to come and get this good information, this good teaching, this knowledge that you're giving us, and not be able to sow into you and be able to support you. There are a few ways that you can do that. The first way that you can do that is we have Cash App, which is $TOESC. That's $TOESC, and whatever your gift is, whether it's large or small, doesn't matter. We are forever grateful. We also have our Zelle and also our PayPal, which are going to be info info at TOESC.org, and that's going to be also in the description. So the ways to give are in the description. And then we also have Venmo. Those of you that would like to use Venmo, Venmo is going to be Venmo is going to be Issachar Bey, ISSACHARBEY @gmail.com. It's going to be Issachar Bey @gmail.com. Those are ways that you can give. I just wanted to make that aware for those who are listening, those who want to be a blessing, those who want to support. You can go ahead and you can give your donation, sow your seed, those ways. We also have a physical mailbox. The mailbox information is in the description. You can send a check or money order if you would like to the Temple of Enlightenment International Spiritual Center, and we'll get it at that address. So I want to thank all of you for your support. Thank all of you for your consistency, and we are forever grateful. The life in your years. I want to talk about that today, ladies and gentlemen. We begin with time. Humanity has been obsessed with it. We celebrate birthdays, we celebrate anniversaries, retirements, funerals, all anchored in years. But what if I told you that time is a trick of the senses, a necessity measuring stick for the human mind, but not for the essence of life itself? The mystics have always taught that life is eternal, timeless, infinite. Time is just consciousness moving through a series of events. Time is the stage, but life is the actor. The years are the calendar, but life is the fire. Some people believe that if you live to be 90, and yet when you examine their story, they have never dared, they have never dreamed, they have never loved, they never forgiven, they've never risked anything, they've never created anything. 90 years, but shallow living. And then there are those like Mozart, who only lived 35 years, yet he changed the entire soundscape of history. Like Martin Luther King Jr., who left us at 39, but shifted the destiny of a nation. And so the question is not how many years will I live, but it's how much life will I pour into the years I have given. I want you to redefine your age. Your birthday is not a reminder of how many years you were past. It's not a reminder of how many years have passed. It's a reminder of how many conscious choices you have made. Every choice to be present, to awaken, to live with validity adds life to your years. Your true wealth is not money. Your true wealth is attention. Wherever your attention goes, your life flows. Wherever your attention goes, your life flows. If you're not driven somewhere, you couldn't remember the journey. It's because your attention was stolen. You lived through the minutes, but the minutes had no life in them. They were vacant, hollow, wasted. Attention, ladies and gentlemen, attention is the first currency of the soul. Attention. When you give attention, you are given life. That's why you must protect your attention like a treasure chest. If you spend your attention on gossip, negativity, and distractions, then you will have years filled with noise but no life. But when you place your attention on what expands you, love, creation, imagination, wisdom, service. Your years become rich. I want to ask you a question tonight. I want you to ask yourself this question today, ladies and gentlemen. What will I give life to today through my attention? If you don't decide, the world will decide for you. Yes. What will I give life to today through my attention? If I don't decide, the world will decide for me. Yes. You have the power to focus your attention on where you want to do what you want to do with your life. You know, I was having this conversation with some family the other day, and we were talking about that. And I was saying to them how you only get in life what you pay for. You only get out of life what you pay for. And some people was like, well, what do you mean by that? I mean that you only get what you pay for. Some people will say, well, I didn't pay to be sick. I didn't pay to be broke. I didn't pay to be lonely. I didn't pay for that. You're absolutely right. You don't pay for those things, but you did pay for it because you only get what you pay for. You paid your attention to it. Instead of you paying attention to the things that you want to see happening in your life, you paid attention to the wrong things. And because you paid attention to those things became very pronounced and very, it became the focal point of your life because your attention was there. My attention is sacred. My focus is divine. I give life only to what expands me. I only focus on what expands me. What does expand you, ladies and gentlemen? What expands you? What is it that expands you? What is it that really expands you? To live deeply, you must awaken the four dimensions. And these four dimensions must be awakened within you. The four dimensions of a lived life. Number one is physical activity. Your body is not your prison. It is your temple. Feed it, move it, honor it. Number two, emotional richness. Allow yourself to feel, to laugh, to cry, to embrace the spectrum of the heart. Mental clarity. Sharpen your thoughts. Align your beliefs. Clear the fog of doubt. Spiritual expansion. Commune with the infinite. Tag into the meditation. Prayer. Alignment with the source. The four dimensions to live deeply, once again, are physical vitality, emotional richness, mental clarity, and spiritual expansion. With these four and in harmony, when these four are locked in and in harmony, life fills your years like water fills a cup. When they are neglected, the years pile up, but they are empty shells. One of the things I would like to say to give you sort of a routine is balance your day. One action for your body, one for your emotions, one for your mind, one for your spirit. This daily practice guarantees your years become infused with life. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times as I'm dealing with a lot of people who are listening to my teachings and listening to this stuff, they're coming back to me and they're saying, "Man, Issachar, man, this is a lot of work. I didn't think that it was going to be like this." And I said to them, "Well, what did you expect? Because up until you found out who I was, you were living a certain kind of way. You had certain kind of thoughts. You had certain kind of habits. And now you want to change those habits so that you can become successful. And it's just like in the gym. You have to start lifting weight, doing cardio. It's going to be very uncomfortable. But you have to do the work. You have to work. It works if you work it. But you got to put the work in. And you got to do the necessary things to make the changes. The changes happens from within. You know, when I think about this topic that we're talking about today, about the life in your years, it almost takes me to uh, the hourglass. When you see the hourglass and you see the sand going through the hourglass, through the through the timing, um, it makes me think about awakening the urgency of aliveness, of what does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to be living and not just existing? Death is not an enemy, it is a teacher. It reminds us of the urgency of living. The ancients kept skulls on their desk, not as ornaments, but as reminders. You are mortal, live now. We push death away in modern culture, hiding it behind hospitals and funerals. But when you embrace mortality, you embrace vitality. Each day, death whispers, do not postpone your joy. Do not delay your purpose. Do not wait until retirement to live. When you lay your head on the pillow tonight, ask yourself, did I live today or did I merely exist? Did I live today or did I just merely exist? Because when you understand the significance of life and you understand, ladies and gentlemen, everybody listening to me right now has the same 24 hours in a day. No man has more time than the other. We all have 24 hours in a day. How we utilize that 24 hours depends on us. And so it is imperative that we understand that. It's imperative that we know that. I live boldly, knowing that each breath is sacred and that each moment is eternal. See, when you start understanding these kind of teachings, you start living on purpose. You don't start just going and doing things that are meaningless, and you don't have time for things that don't benefit you because you realize and you understand life and the essence of life. You understand purpose. You understand destiny, and you understand that. Listen, my life matters. It's not just about how long I've lived, but what have I done with the life that I've been given. And so now purpose comes into place, and destiny. Once again, those of you that want to schedule a consultation with me and say, "Hey, listen, I need to know what my purpose is. I need to know why was I born. I need to know to get a sense of direction. Go ahead and click the link and let's set up a meeting. Let's set up a consultation. Presence is the great multiplier. When you are fully present, one moment can feel like eternity. Think of the last time you were in love. Hours felt like minutes because you were alive, present, fully engaged. That is the life in your years. Contrast that with sitting in a waiting room. Minutes feel like hours because presence is absent. Presence is the portal to eternity. It collapses the illusion of time. It fills ordinary seconds with divine significance. I want you to declare this. This is the moment. This moment right here, right now is enough. I am fully here. I am fully alive. This moment is enough. I am fully here. I am fully alive. Um, you want to be present in the moment, present in every moment of your life, present in every facet of your life. You want to be here. You want to be able to engage, and you want to be able to encounter life, and you want to be able to enjoy life and to live life and to be somewhat uh, transformational because you're transforming to from what was into what is. You're transforming from what was into what is. And when you understand that, you look at it from a different perspective. You know, many of us on this call, on this teaching today, in this community, we have lost our loved ones. We may have lost our parents. We may have lost family members, our friends, siblings. We may have lost people that are very close to us. And so we've experienced the hurt and the grieving of losing a loved one. And we know how that feels to have lost somebody. But the person we lost, I want you to look at their life and realize, was it really the years of their life that counted, or was it the life of their years? What did they do with the years that they had? And so I want to make sure that we are not just living just to say, oh, I'm 90 years old today, I'm 95 years old. But it's not really how long you live. I want to know, are we taking advantage of the life of those years that we do have to make them count, to make them monumental, to make them life-changing? You know, and so I want us to change the scope of how we see things and realize that life is really what you make it. Life gives to the giver and takes from the taker. And so I want us to be very conscious of our lives and what we're doing, and even your children, even your spouse, even your loved ones, and how we are really consciously looking at life, because life is important. Life is a paradox. Nobody really understands or can really describe life in one sentence. It's very it's very complicated because of the so many facets of life and so many, and so that's why it's very important that we really take advantage of our lives and really start moving into different situations. And I know it can be very difficult with you see things happening on TV and things that the country is going through, but you have to realize that even through that, you're still in control of your life. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're still in control of your life. and your life matters. Your life matters. And so it's extremely imperative that we look at that. A life worth living is not measured by what you take, but by what you give. Contribution is immortality. The teacher lives on in the students. The artist lives on in the art. The lover lives on in the beloved. The parent lives on in the child. When you contribute, you multiply your years beyond your body. I live not just for myself, but for the world. My life echoes beyond my years. I live not just for myself, but for the world. My life echoes beyond my years. Ladies and gentlemen, will your life begin to echo? What seeds have you planted? Because we have to get to the understanding that our lives are not measured by what we take, but by what we give. I just said this: life gives to the giver, takes from the taker. Contribution is immortality. How am I contributing to life? Ladies, we got to be able to answer that question. How are you contributing to life? You got to look at your life and say, man, I got to, you know, when, I don't know about you guys, but when I hear stuff like this and teachings like this, I get real excited. It really excites me because it makes me really want to go grab a piece of paper and really start writing down some things that I want to see happen in my life. And I really want to grab a piece of paper and really start writing down my dreams and my goals and really start writing down things that I want to manifest. And these teachings are not, these teachings are to awaken you, to motivate you, to inspire you. They are there also to make you feel uncomfortable because a lot of us have got comfortable in our ways. And you can say, I want to be successful in life. I want to achieve. I want to be great. We want to do all of those things. But we have to realize that in order to do that, there's going to be a little discomfort. There's going to be a shakeup. There's going to be something that catapults us into a next dimension, into a next place. So you have to get to that place where you begin to understand that. Ladies and gentlemen, stop waiting to live. Stop. Stop waiting to live. The greatest illusion is someday I'll travel. Someday I'll love. Someday I'll pursue my purpose. Someday is the graveyard of dreams. Life is happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. Right now. Remove the word someday from your vocabulary and replace it with today. Every day, choose one act that fills your life with vitality. Sing, write, create, forgive, dance, call somebody you love. I do not postpone my destiny. I live in it now. Some of us believe that, someday, I'll be there. Someday I'll get it done. One day it'll happen for me. No, 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 no. It happens right now. Not someday, not one day. And so I think that it's imperative. I think that it's imperative that you. I think that it's imperative that you understand that I, I try to live life personally with me. I never want to look back on life and be like, I woulda, I shoulda, I coulda. You never want to look back with any regrets um, and say, man, you know what? I should have done this. I should have done that. You want to make the best choices. You want to make the best decisions. You want to uh, put yourself in a position to win. Winners will always win. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, winners, to be a winner, I think I'm going to write a book on that, on the science of winning, because winning is not about it's not about luck. Because when I say winning, I'm not talking about playing games like card games and casinos. I'm talking about winning in life, being in a position to win. And if you are a winner, there's certain things that happen in your consciousness. There's certain things that you think. There's certain things that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you dress. You are a winner, and winners will always win. I think that when you look at life, I'll say this to you guys listening now. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? We're in 2025. So in 2030, where do you see yourself being, doing, and having? Because remember, 5 years from now, 2030, is not just about 5 years, it's about the life of those years. It's like, okay, I made it to 2030, that's great. But what did you do with the last 5 years of your life? What did you do to impact life, to live your destiny, to fulfill your happiness, to uh, to experience life the way you wanted to? Because I believe, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we teach here at the Temple of Enlightenment, that you can create your own reality. We believe that you can create your own reality, that you don't have to accept things the way that they are, but that you can now maneuver and transform and begin to create and begin to take your life into your own hands and begin to make changes. Many of us are existing, we're not living, and we have to learn how to live fully. I want to give you 5 keys on how to start living fully. Remember, it's not the years of your life that matter, it's the life of your years. I want us to get an understanding of what does it mean to live fully. Those keys are going to be this: your imagination, see the life that you want. Number 2, intention, set your compass of your soul. We just did a life roadmap. We just did the whole breakdown of what the compass is. You can go back and listen to that series. Number 3, action, bring the invisible into form. Number 4, reflection, learn from each day. Number 5, gratitude, multiply what you have been honoring. Multiply what you have by honoring it. The 5 keys to learning how to live fully: the imagination, the intention, the action, reflection, and gratitude. Use these keys daily, and you will not just add years to your life, you will add life to your years. You will add life to your years. One of the things also that are extremely important in life um, are relationships, expanding life through relationships. You were not born to live alone in isolation. Every soul you connect with adds texture and color to your life. Friendships, love, community, mentorships, these are not just side stories. They are the very fabric of a lived life. The richness of your years is magnified by the depth of your connections. I attract relationships that add life to my years and years to my life. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you meet nobody in this world but you. And when you start moving in life and you start living life, you start magnetizing people to you into your life, people who will benefit you, people who will help you, people who will open the doors for you. It's imperative that you take this opportunity to embrace your relationships. You know, and we talked about this before. Um, there's been plenty of billionaires and millionaires who said, you know, what's the one thing that allows you to be who you are? And most of the billionaires and millionaires will pull out their phones and say, one of the reasons why I am able to be at this level and really to do the things that I do is because of the relationships I've had. The people that I can pick up my phone and call, the people that I can connect with. Relationships are everything. And so I think that it's imperative that you understand and that you get that understanding of what a relationship is, and so that you begin to understand that relationship. But relationships are everything. Not just intimate, loving, romantic relationships, but business partner relationships, friendships, the understanding of the relationship. There's something there that understands of the relation, and we'll get into the science of relationships. But when you get ready to understand some things, you get ready to move into a level and a place of valuing your relationships, people you know, connections. Um, you're trying to manifest some things. You're trying to get some things going in your life, and all of a sudden you're walking down the street and you run into an old friend, and you and the old friend start talking. You haven't seen each other in 15 years, but your old friend is married to a woman who can actually open a door for you and help you get to the place that you need to be. But you just met this person walking down the street. Everything is in alignment. Everything is working in your favor. And so you understand, when you understand the significance of relationships, you value them, you take care of them, you nurture them, because relationships are extremely important. They are, and so we want to make sure that we understand that in life, everybody wants to be striving to leave a legacy, the life that outlives you, the legacy. In the end, the measure of your life is not what you own, but what you have awakened in others. Legacy is the life that continues when your years are gone. If today were not your final chapter, would your story be worth reading? Is this moment, if this moment were your last breath, would you be proud of the life you lived? Don't wait to write your legacy. Live it daily. Live it now. My life is eternal through the love, wisdom, and contributions I leave behind. Legacy, ladies and gentlemen, the life that outlives you. So, yes, we got to start thinking legacy. We got to start thinking legacy. Legacy is not what you own, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the cars and the houses. And yes, all of those things are important to leave to your loved ones. And um, but legacy is the life that continues when you're gone. It's 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 about who you are. Legacy is about who you are and how you've and how you impacted your family, how you impacted your loved ones, how you impacted them to the place now that you're not here, they can carry on with your principles, your precepts, your concepts, and begin to look at life and begin to take life and create their own legacies. They're able to take your teachings and because you've created legacies, you've created a way inside of them to show them like, yes, you can create your own reality. Yes, you can create your own reality. You can do this, and guess what? It can be done. So I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that it's imperative that we get to this opportunity where we begin to create life, the kind of life that we want to live, the kind of life that we enjoy, the kind of life that uh, benefits us, that connects us, the kind of life that lifts us. And if that in fact is true, ladies and gentlemen, if it's true that life gives to the giver and takes from the taker, I have to learn how to be a giver in life. Ladies and gentlemen, live your life. Don't let life live you. That means that you begin to live the life that you want to live. You don't just take what life throws at you. Many of us are living reactionary lives. We're just reacting to what's happening, but we don't realize that we have the ability to demand and command things. And in our commanding, we can see some things coming into place. You know, um, I like to talk to myself. I believe that everybody should talk to themselves. I believe that you should be able to speak things into existence. And so I wanna look at some things here when we're talking about legacy and we're talking about living a life that's fulfilled. And you got to change your language, and in order to not worry about just the years of my life, the longevity of my life, but more importantly, what did I do with the years? You got to start talking like this. I am timeless presence. My years are filled with fertility. I choose life over delay. Every day I awaken to purpose. I live boldly, love deeply, and give freely. My legacy is eternal. The legacy is eternal. Teachings like this are really, really good for me uh, because in today's teaching, it's almost like I'm preaching to the choir, but I'm preaching to me because it motivates me. It makes me want to go, and as soon as this is over with, and figure out how can I give more life in the years that I have. What can I do to elevate, to increase? Um, and ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where you could be anything you want to be. You can be anything you want to be. And when you understand the power of that, the power of choice, when you understand that, you get into a period of understanding when you say to yourself, oh, man, this is unbelievable that I have the power to choose. Some of us don't utilize our power to choose, and we allow people to choose for us. But you have the power to choose. What do you want to be in life? What do you want to do in life? Where do you want to live? How do you want to? What do you want to experience? And so, as we get ready to move into 2026, what does 2026 look like for us, ladies and gentlemen? What kind of a year would it be? Remember, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I don't want to wait to December 29th, December 31st to try to figure out what I'm going to be doing for 2026. I want to kind of get that together now. Go ahead and hit that link and let's get a consultation together. Let's get a consultation together so we can discuss what 2026 will look like for you. And remember, it's not about what life throws at you. It's about what you command and what you demand from life. And so that's the secret. The benefits you will experience from embodying this teaching will be freedom from fear and wasted time, a renewed urgency to live fully, that urgency, presence in every moment, deepened relationships and contribution, a, le- a, a legacy that outlives your years. And so that nobody wants to look back at life and say, man, I wasted that time, man. I should have did this and I should have did that. Uh, 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 the renewed urgency to live fully. I should have did this. I should have did that. And so you want to be in a position. You want to be in a position to where you can elevate yourself. Because to me, if somebody came to me today and said, Issachar, I hear everything you're teaching today. You said that it doesn't matter about how long I've lived, but it matters about the years. It matters about the life in the years that I've lived. And so, how do I get to that place where I can start living the years of my life and not just worrying about how long I've been alive? And the first thing I want to say to them is the first thing you want to do is elevate your consciousness. You cannot do anything at the level you are now. You must rise. You must go to a higher level of consciousness in order to elevate and move into a different thinking pattern, different understanding, different perspective, seeing life through a different lens. When you see life through a different lens, it changes the dynamics of things. And so that's why that's important, ladies and gentlemen. It's extremely important that we look at that. And so I'm honored I want to thank all of you uh, uh, for all of that, and so I am forever grateful, and I want to thank all of you uh, for joining today. I hope this message really, really um, shifts you to the next level. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, today is the eclipse. It is a very, very important time in our lives in this season. And whenever there's an eclipse, it's an important time. It's a time to take notice, to take a stand on what the heavens are declaring, what's happening in the seasons. If you want to know how it's affecting you personally, go ahead and click the button and let's schedule a consultation. Also, the 2026 consultation are also available if you want to do that as well, so that we can figure out what life has in store for you for 2026. I also want to um, bring into fruition that um, has everybody has the ability to be, to do, and to have anything that they want in life. I think the hardest thing to do, the hardest uh, the hardest thing to do it is to believe that you can do it. And so I think that that's why one of the benefits for today was overcoming fear and wasted time. Because when you realize that you can really put life in the years that you have, you you'll say to yourself, "Well, dang, I've been alive for this long, and I haven't really lived life the way I wanted to." But now that you were kind of thinking about it, you can say, "You know what, man? I want to really start living life to the fullest." You can do it starting today. The thing that changes your life, ladies and gentlemen, is when you change your mind. When you realize in your mind, "Hey, I want to make a change. I no longer want to do this. I want to do something different." Once you make that decision, that, ladies and gentlemen, is the beginning of your journey. And so you don't have to wait until next week. You don't have to wait until next year. You can start right now, and you can take that journey. I want to thank all of you for your consistency, for joining us every week. Some of you have been sharing and helping us get the word out and helping us build our community. We are forever grateful. Once again, those of you that want to sow a seed or want to donate to our ministry and to our organization, there are a few ways that you can do that. It's going to be $ Cash App is going to be the first way. $TOESC. That's our Cash App. $TOESC. And then we also have and PayPal, which are going to be info at TOESC.org. That's info at TOESC.org. And then we also have Venmo. Venmo is going to be Issachar Bey, ISSACHARBEY at gmail.com. Those are going to be the ways that you can give. We also have our physical address in the description, along with the other ways to give. You can do that as well. So I want to thank all of you for your participation today. We are forever grateful. I'm looking forward to receiving those notifications of people who are signing up to get consultations, so that we can figure out what your 2026 looks like. And also those of you that are concerned or have some curiosity about the eclipses, let's take a look and see what happens. I also, those of you that may have questions about a lot of different things, and you may feel a little uncomfortable maybe putting it in the chat or anything like that, just about stuff that's going on right now, and you want to talk with somebody, click the button, get a consultation. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can get your questions answered. Let's see if we can get you to a place where you feel comfortable enough to start really living life the way you want to live it, and begin to start manifesting and transforming your life to become a better version of yourself. And so we are forever grateful for that. I like to say this one thing: your destiny is not a matter of chance, but it's a matter of choice. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.